NATO stands for the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. It was established to ensure peace and security in the North Atlantic area. It's a group of countries that agree to help each other out if one of them is attacked. This means that if any member country faces aggression, the others will come to its defense. Think of it like a team, but for countries. Each member brings its own strengths and resources to the table, making the alliance stronger as a whole. NATO was created in 1949. The founding members signed the North Atlantic Treaty in Washington, D.C., marking the beginning of this powerful alliance. The main idea behind NATO is pretty simple: strength in numbers. By working together, member countries can deter potential threats and ensure collective security. If one country is attacked, the others have their back. This principle of collective defense is at the heart of NATO's mission. This makes everyone feel safer and less likely to start a fight in the first place. By promoting stability and cooperation, NATO helps maintain peace and prevent conflicts. After the devastation of World War II, Europe was in bad shape. Cities lay in ruins, economies were shattered, and millions of people were displaced. Countries were trying to rebuild. The task was monumental, requiring not just physical reconstruction, but also the restoration of political stability and social order. They also worried about the Soviet Union and the spread of communism. The Soviet Union's influence was growing, and many feared that communism would spread across Europe. NATO was created to address these fears. It was a collective defense alliance aimed at countering the Soviet threat and ensuring mutual security. The United States, Canada, and 10 European countries came together. They recognized the need for a united front to maintain peace and stability. They signed the North Atlantic Treaty in Washington, D.C. on April 4, 1949, laying the foundation for a new era of cooperation. This agreement marked the beginning of NATO. It symbolized a commitment to collective defense and shared values. The goal was to make sure something like World War II never happened again. Through collective security and cooperation, NATO aimed to create a lasting peace in Europe. The most important part of NATO is something called collective defense. This means that an attack on one member is considered an attack on all of them. It's like a promise they make to each other. If one NATO country is attacked, the others will come to its aid. This could mean providing military support or other forms of assistance. This idea of collective defense is at the core of NATO's mission. Section 4, From Cold War to Expansion. This chapter delves into the transformation of NATO from its origins during the Cold War to its current state of expansion and adaptation. For much of its history, NATO's main focus was the Soviet Union and its allies. The alliance was formed as a collective defense mechanism against the perceived threat from the Eastern Bloc. This period, known as the Cold War, was a time of high tension and rivalry. The world was essentially divided into two opposing camps, with NATO representing the Western powers. NATO played a crucial role in deterring conflict during this era. Through a series of military exercises and strategic planning, the alliance aimed to prevent any escalation into full-scale war. After the Cold War ended, NATO didn't just disappear. The fall of the Berlin Wall and the dissolution of the Soviet Union marked a new chapter for the alliance. Instead, it adapted to the changing world. NATO began to focus on new challenges, such as regional conflicts, terrorism, and cyber threats. NATO has expanded to include more countries, mostly in Eastern Europe. This expansion was part of a broader strategy to promote stability and security in the region. This expansion has been controversial, but it reflects NATO's ongoing relevance in a changing world. Critics argue that it provokes tensions with Russia, while supporters believe it strengthens collective security. Section 5, and NATO, today and tomorrow. Today, NATO has 31 member countries. It remains a vital military alliance, but its role has evolved. NATO is involved in various operations around the world, from fighting terrorism to responding to crises. NATO faces many challenges in the 21st century. These include threats from terrorism, cyber attacks, and the rise of new global powers. How NATO adapts to these challenges will determine its relevance in the years to come. If you found this video informative, please like and subscribe for more content.